could be that good if he's healthy. I think there's going to be a tough offense to defend. It ain't nothing but a redemption tool. That's all it is.
I pop a burger retarded. Wait.
Hey, it's Coach K, your Hollywood Bombers, and it's an honor to be making this 30 for 30. You know, this is history, and man, where do I start? I guess in 2020, you know, looking back a year ago, it still hurts a little. You know, you work so hard, give up so much blood, sweat, and tears to just fall short. Losing the 2020 Stella Cup hurt everybody, the fans, the coaching staff, and I know it hurt the players. It's hard at the beginning of the year. You know, you have one goal and one mission, and it's to bring that cup home, and we ended up failing.
You know, you lose this 2020 Stella Cup. I mean, it's hard. You know, you don't know if you're gonna get back there again. You know, you're the defending champion, so to speak. You know, and you don't know when you're gonna get back there. You don't know if you're gonna get back there, and it's just it's tough. You know.
Well, fans, Shane Riley here, and just saying I will not return to Ohio Bombers next season, and I will be joining the Chicago Risers next season.
Going into that off season, you know, I had an understanding that Shane may be moving on from the Bombers, and kind of think it shocked everybody. We knew we had some big shoes to fill, and with Shane moving on, we were fortunate enough to sign Eddie Lax to a roster spot. And we really liked the direction we were heading into the new year, and felt pretty confident. You know, going into 2021, we knew we had to be better and finish stronger than we did last year.
You know, the 2020 all season was crazy. You know, I mean, the question I was asked the most throughout that off season was, how did you find out about Shane Riley leaving the Bombers? Did he tell you? I found out the same way all of you guys found out. I found out through the media. You know, and I think that was the hardest thing, is that I had no warning, you know, and I found out through the media. You know, it's almost like when he left the Bucks, you know, he never told me, you know, and I think that was the hardest part. But we moved on. We signed Eddie Laxton, and we didn't look back.
What is up, Bomber fans? This is starting pitcher number 24, Ever Laxton, and here I'm going to talk about the Bomber season and just what a crazy year it was for me and just the team in general. So first, I'm going to talk about me signing here in the off season. You know, it was a big change coming from what they had before me. You know, coming from Trenton, I had some solid years there. Missed entire last year because I was injured, and then it was just a big moment for me coming to play and for a great team like Hollywood, and especially with the player Brian Avanzato, captain. It was just unbelievable coming here, living out my childhood dream.
You know, our theme throughout the whole season was the redemption tour. You know, let the redemption tour begin. You know, and our main theme was all it is a redemption tour. You know, that's all our season was. The regular season didn't go as planned. Obviously, you know, we went 2-8 in 10 games. You know, we went into the playoffs, the Stella Cup playoffs, as an 8 seed out of 8. No one thinking we could bounce back and do what we did in 18. Do what we did last year. Last year was called a Cinderella run, you know, and no one saw us doing that again. You know, but we put ourselves in this situation. We put ourselves in those shoes to do that again. And we did it pretty dang well.
But boy, 2021 was a whirlwind of emotion. You know, Laxton going down on IR with a broken hand. You know, we were really fortunate with some stellar play from Dylan Sheehy from the Philadelphia Nukes. But, you know, in the end, we had a pretty disappointing regular season. At just 2-8, we were just getting into the playoffs as an 8 seed. But I knew our guys were ready.
You know, next on to the regular season. The regular season was definitely a rocky start. You know, playing for a new team, different organization. You gotta get used to it over time. And you know, we had some rough games. Not the regular season we wanted, but towards later on in the season, we started to heat up, become a better team.
We upset the number 1 seed Seattle Bucks, which, you know, our boys fought hard. And in Game 2, we played the Indiana Whackers in the National Wiffle Ball League Championship, which was a really hard-fought match. But, our team prevailed and, hoisted that first championship. But we know we wanted more, and we were moving on to the Stella Cup. And, we would play the champions of the East Coast Wiffle Ball League, Phoenix United.
The playoffs were crazy. 10-3 victory in Seattle. No one expected that. But we got it done anyway, and 10-3, and we move on to round 2 against Indiana now, and stuff's going to go down there. Now, when we were playing Indiana, the theme was redemption. This is where redemption. They beat us in the 2020 final. We need our redemption. We go to 3 games against them. Game 1, completely embarrassing, 10-0 loss. Game 2, we win 1-0. Thank you, Eddie Laxton, for that walk-off homer. Game 3, it is a battle the whole time. 4-0. I get up to the, we're getting bases loaded. I get up to the plate, top of the 4th, pimp a shot out. We go up 4-0. They have no answer. Bottom of the 4th, nothing. Bottom of the 5th, nothing. Bombers head to 3rd straight Stella Cup final appearance. And you know what happens after that.
Fly ball, gone. How's it going, Wiffle Ball fans? My name is Tim Fair, and I had the honor of broadcasting and announcing for these games. And it was a great honor. And it all started with Game 1. Eddie Laxton still on the injured list. Brian Avanzato had to turn to Anthony Vino, and he came in clutch. He pitched very well on the mound. He hit a homer, and so did Avanzato, to lead the Bombers to a Game 1 win. And the last play of the game, with Vino getting that double play, is iconic.
Game 1 Stella Cup Finals, we're heading into it. Eddie Laxton's on the IR. I'm playing with Anthony Vino. He's a call-up. Free agent signing, and it just went from there. We got the bats going early, and we were just making plays. We were making plays like it was nothing, and this kid was good. And we went up big in the first inning. Got a little close, but we made it work.
And boy, was that Stella Cup crazy. To start off, Eddie Lax had to hit the COVID reserve list, and we talked to Anthony Vino. I was happy he was able to fill in Game 1. He made an instant impact, stellar offense, defense, pitching. He did it all. And, that last play of the game could be one of the best plays we saw in the Stella Cup Finals this year. An incredible double play by Anthony and Avanzato. They came up clutch when they needed to, and they brought home the W.
My career as a Bomber started off pretty well. I had 3 hits and a nice shot in the first inning, put us up 5-0. On the mound, I felt like I was pitching well. My 2-seam was really hitting, getting by the zone. I felt really confident on the mound, and, later in the game, I got a little windy, so it got a little tough to find the zone, so ended up allowing more people to score. But, I kept the homers away, and later in the game when it was tied, I got on base from getting hit, and Brian drove me in with a nice single. And, the last inning was big. There was a runner on second, really in scoring position, and I ended up forcing a really nice double play off the wall. I, had a really big play to save the game. I barely hit Luke in the shoe, but it was really a good game.
Game 1 comes around. I don't really think that Phoenix United were expecting a big intro to it. They came out strong, they came out fast, and we just weren't ready. After coming out a win against the Rockets in the East Coast Wiffle Ball Finals, we weren't really ready for another upgraded level of gameplay, and I think it really got to us. And after we lost Game 1, we realized we better pick up our game or we're gonna lose. So I think after Game 1 hit, we started to pick up our game, but Game 1 was absolutely exceptional. They got out to that early lead, and right away we're like, oh God, what's going on here? And we're not really used to losing that much. out in Phoenix, but we just had to bounce back. I thought we played good, got back in it, but they still could not find a way to win. Bombers played great over there, and you got to give it to them. They really earned that victory. Game 2 was another great one. If I'm not mistaken, I remember Brian actually playing by himself in that game, which I thought was absolutely incredible from him. He was right there the entire game, and he was playing one person in the field. He had absolutely no help. So the fact that he was able to almost beat us with only having himself was incredible. You got to give it to him. But I thought we had a good bounce back game that day. After falling down 1-0, the last thing we wanted was go down 2-0 and best of 3 series, and so we realized that we had to win, and if we didn't, then it was not going to be good. So it's a good thing we got that W, but once again, it's pretty unbelievable what he was able to do over there, Brian, that is, in Hollywood, especially in Phoenix, playing away by yourself with no teammates, no help, nothing. That says a lot about a player and the type of person that he is. So it's great. It's something that you love to see, because it's great to see people stepping up when their opportunity comes. But unfortunately for him, he did play really well, but fortunately for Phoenix, we got that W, and we were able to tie up the series 1-1 and go into Game 3 with a fresh slate of ice.
Game 2, ended up playing alone. Anthony Vino was unable to attend. Laxton's still in the IR. I'm coming off that little knee injury. After our COVID break as well. We had a long COVID break because of a big outbreak. And I'm playing alone in Game 2 of the Stella Cup final in a 1-0 series. We ended up losing the game by 1, but it was great. It was a great game. It was really, the energy was so exciting. I mean, from both teams, everyone was just competing. And it was a great game.
Shortly after, I was a little worried. Avanzato got knocked with a knee injury, and that's the last thing you want to happen. A star player going down before the biggest stage. You have to give a lot of credit to our medical team. They help our players, keep them safe, peak health for all of our games. Luckily, with just some of the timing of the games and COVID delays, Avanzato was able to get back healthy, time to continue for the rest of the playoffs. But Game 2 and 3 did not go our way. Game 2, Avanzato had to play alone. It was a hard-fought battle. Came up short.
For Bernice, chips it. Oh, makes a diving catch. What a play. Brian Avanzato showing up in Game 2.
Game 2 is definitely the craziest of all the games. Brian Avanzato had to play by himself because Vino was day-to-day with a leg injury, and again, Eddie Laxton's still injured. And despite losing, Brian Avanzato, terrific performance. It was very impressive. And, now we were sitting at a 1-1 tie in the series going to Game 3. Now, Game 3 was an iconic game. It was played at Jeff Randall Ballpark, and the camera crew was out. It was very nice being there at Jeff Randall, and of course, it was an honor to be there to record and broadcast. And this was a tough game for Bombers Nation. They did get destroyed in this game. The bats of Grenice and Biamonte really woke up, and they were able to hit Vino's pitching, who was back after the day-to-day injury. And at this point, the Bombers were nervous. They're down 2-1. One more loss, and they would lose the Stella Cup again.
Game 3 was just as rough. Catching back-to-back L's is not ideal. And we knew we had our backs against the wall. And, you start hearing the media talk, quotes like, is this the same disappointing end as last year? They just don't have it in them to finish strong. They can't win back-to-back games against this strong Phoenix team. It's a lot of negativity, but we knew we had to block out all that outside noise. Focus on what we control, what we can control.
Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the barrel's in your mouth. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
Game 3 was tough. I didn't even get to make it to Game 2 because I had personal problems. But I mean, Game 3 we opened out strong. Like, we came out, we were ready to go, and then everything kind of settled down because the zone was a little bit smaller. We couldn't hit the zone, so we played more timid. I mean, offensively we played really well. We hit the ball well. We got on base. We made good base running plays, but it was the pitching that really put us aside, and we couldn't find the zone, which kind of stunk. It was a hard fought game through the end, but yeah, we didn't come up on top.
Game 3, we're at Jeff Randall Ballpark again. Now playing with Anthony Vino again. He's back. Eddie Laxton's still on the IR. Laxton's doubtful to come back for the series. That was just not a good game for us. We offensively we were playing decently well. Defensively, we just couldn't figure it out. We just could not figure it out, and it showed. So it started to show.
Game 3 of the Stella Cup Finals was also a great one. I was actually very nervous going into that one. We're playing in Jeff Randall Ballpark for the first time in my career. I'm pretty sure Luke has played there before, but it's been a while. We were playing with their rules. It's different from East Coast Wiffle Ball League. So I was a bit nervous going into the game. Didn't really know what to expect playing with their rules and in their stadium. It was a bit scary, but we did end up playing pretty good that game. We got off to a good start, and we let them stay in it for a little while, but once the later innings came, I think they just got real tired out there, and we were able to pull ahead, which was big for us. So we were able to get that win in Game 3 and go up in the series 2-1, reverse the pressure back onto them, and it was a really big win for us.
Now we're in Game 4. A lot of fans are hitting the panic button. They don't know what to do. Laxton's still out. I can't play with Anthony Vino. He's banged up. Now he's on the IR. Who am I gonna call? We call up a minor leaguer, Nick Fair. He balled out for us. Played great. Now it's a 2-1 series going into Game 4. They win it. They win that game. They win the whole series. But we balled out and we sent it to Game 5.
And now, your home team, the Hollywood Bombers. Let's go!
Game 4 was dramatic. Some heroics from Avanzato. We were able to pull out the win and keep this dream alive. We were focused. We had one more game to reach our goal.
Felt good. I feel like it was a nice game. Brian carried with the hitting. I got hit by a pitch a lot, so that kind of helped get on base for him to hit a home run. Just regular stuff. Felt nice. Felt good to finally take one home. But we're taking one home next year with the Whackers.
Game 4. This was a really good game. Phoenix United had a chance to close out the series, win the Stella Cup. But, of course, playing against Brian Avanzato, and we knew that this was his redemption tour. He wasn't going to let that happen. He played exceptional that game. He was great out there. We weren't really expecting him to play at that type of level. It really surprised us, and it was great to see him play like that because, it reverses the pressure back onto us. Like, they just absolutely dominated us throughout the entire game. Like, what's next? Like, what are we gonna do? Like, it was really nervous for us, especially going back into Game 5 because if he played like that again, then there was no chance that we were going to win. But he had to play back in Fairway, which was a little bit of a disadvantage for him. They had some stadium issues out in Hollywood, so they were unable to play there. I think that gave us the advantage, although he was still the home team, batted second, had his rules. But I think it still gave us a slight advantage because we're used to the ballpark. Me and my teammate Luke, we play there all the time whenever we have games, so it did help us out too, but that didn't really seem to matter to Brian because he still played really well and helped his team, along with Anthony Vino. They both increased their play and helped them win that game.
So being on the sideline for the Stella Cup Finals was amazing because I got to hype up all the players. I got to come down in the locker room. It was a really fun experience for a young kid like me, and I really think that the Bombers deserved that trophy, and yeah.
So here it is. Literally the final game of the Stella Cup Finals. Series is tied 2-2. It was arguably the best game in the entire Stella Cup Finals. It was 100% my favorite game to play in. I thought it was a great game. I started on the mound and I was feeling it, but they also had their starting pitcher, back from injury, Edward Laxton, and he gave them a real big boost because, he pitched absolutely outstanding. He was lights out throughout the entire game. And he brought them to victory. I mean, it was a pitcher's duel. There was great defense, but, it was that one home run and a few extra runs. Phoenix might have gotten a few runs in that bottom inning before the game ended. Don't quite remember. But either way, that doesn't deny the fact that their guy, Eddie, he was outstanding on the mound. He really, after the way he pitched, he deserved to win that. And after the way the Hollywood Bombers were able to bounce back after going down 2-1 in the series, they showed that they were the real number one team, and they were the team that really deserved to win the Stella Cup.
Going into Game 5, Laxton finally off the IR. We're going into Game 5 now. It's a tied series. We have momentum on our side. Laxton balls out in Game 5. He pitches great. Another 10 strikeout game from him. He hits the go-ahead home run in the fourth inning, and we didn't look back from there. We take a 3-0 lead. We win the game 3-1, and we go on to be Stella Cup champions of 2021, and we completed our redemption tour.
Next up, we have the Stella Cup and just the playoffs in general. Start off the playoffs, underdogs coming in after having a very underwhelming regular season, coming in, winning round 1. It was a big moment for us. And then next up, we had the Stella Cup. And they came in, but I came in, and then I got hurt, so I missed the first couple of games, which was really rough for me, but the fans were there to support me, and so were my teammates and the organization as a whole. And they came back for Game 5 after being injured the first 4 games, and it was the biggest game of my career, huge moment, and I showed out, and so did just the whole team in general. Me and Brian, we showed out, and then we won it. It was a great moment for me and us as a team in general and the organization. And it was just a crazy year, a huge bounce back year, and all it was a redemption tour.
And boy, Game 5. It was intense. Winner take all. There's no better place you want to be. There's no better place as a player or a coach. All eyes are on you, and this is kind of where history is written. We got Laxton back off the COVID reserve to make his Stella Cup debut, and man, was that important. Avanzato and Laxton played their hearts out. Incredible game and tied during the last inning, and Laxton hits that go-ahead home run. Avanzato and Lax close it out like champs. You can't ask for a better team. They're winners, and they fought hard, and they were able to bring home that Stella Cup. It was a grueling season, a lot of ups and downs, peaks and valleys, but, it was all worth it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. We are champions once again, and there's no better feeling in the world to bring a championship back to your city. One dream at the beginning of this season, one mission, that's to bring a championship back to Hollywood. The redemption tour was complete.
Congratulations to the Hollywood Bombers for winning the Stella Cup in 2021, and congratulations to the United for making it this far. Now, I would like to present this MVP trophy to the MVP, and that is Eddie Laxton. The go-ahead homer, pitched a great game. Speech?
Let me get some pictures. I couldn't have been here without my teammate Brian Avanzato. He wasn't by my side. There's no way I'm having that type of performance. He was there supporting me the whole way. We couldn't have done it without him. We couldn't have won those games without him. And all my credit, all this, basically he deserves the credit.
Now, I think it is time to give them the beautiful
Captain?
Stella Cup.
We're going to take the picture.
Brian Avanzato as captain. Beautiful. Great job, boys.
Let's go. Oh, baby.
Stare my eyes at home and lead them Broadway girls along. Broadway girls, Broadway girls along. Broadway girls along. Think I ought to settle down and find me something I could take back to my hometown.